Hello, neighbors. I'm Councilmember Shayla Lynch, and I'm glad you're joining us today. Today, we're going to continue the deep dive to talk about the city's boards and commissions. That's an item I put in committee to get really a good look at our city's boards and commissions. We commissioned a study to do a deep dive to see if they're equitable, if they're meeting the community's needs, and doing what we hope that they are doing. And so today I have someone that knows our city's boards and commissions very, very well, Ms. Melissa McCart-Smith. Thank you so much. She's the Administrative Specialist Senior in the Mayor's Office. So thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. If someone is interested in serving on a boards and commission, what should they do? Where should they go? Who should they talk to?
So the first thing I recommend is to go to our website and to kind of tool around in there. We've got a page for each board and commission, which has a lot of information on that board. There's a contact person on every board and commission that you can call directly or email directly. Another thing that I think is kind of helpful sometimes is if you reach out to the council member who may or may not be on that board or commission. There's not a council member on every board and commission, but a lot of them do have a council member, and so they know a lot about what's going on and what it does and how effective it is and all of that good stuff. So that's another good thing to do. And then also I think it's fun to just show up to a board and commission, a meeting. All of the boards and commissions meetings are open to the public, and so anything that you see on there, times and dates, you're welcome to come to and learn a lot more about what's going on directly from the members.
It's good advice, good tips. When someone is filling out that application, are there any suggestions you want to provide them when they're tackling that application to submit?
There's always, I feel like more information is great. You might be filling out that information for people you've never met, and it almost always goes through council for approval. And so if you've never met any of the council members, the more information you can give about yourself, the better. And if there's ever any questions, my name and the link that goes with the application, you can always just ask and I can reply and respond to that. A lot of the applications have specific questions for the specific board you're applying for, so it'll ask you a little bit more information that's needed if the seat is qualified in any sort of way. So there's always a way to reach out and see what you need, and any kind of technical issues that happen, I'm always happy to help too. So
Wonderful, that's awesome. In your opinion, what is one of the most popular boards and commissions that you see a lot of people apply for?
One of the most popular boards and commissions is the Planning Commission.
Really? That surprises me.
Extremely popular. Every time there's a vacancy, we get at least 10 applicants in, which isn't a lot, but often we'll get up to 30. So it's a very popular board and commission. It's also one that you spend a lot of time at, so it's a very busy board or commission.
That's great. If a neighbor has, I think you've already said, if a neighbor has questions about joining boards and commissions, they should go to the website and look for that contact information, and they can contact you as well. Is 311 a good option as well?
They may know a little bit about the board and commission. If your question is real specific, I recommend going to the board first. I mean, you can certainly go through 311. They know so much. I'm always impressed about what I can call and ask them. So they do know a lot. They can at least get you to the right place if you have a question about that.
And can people serve on multiple boards and commissions at the same time, or are they just applying for one at a time?
The application allows you to apply for one board at a time or commission. You can serve on multiple boards at different times depending on your schedule. There are a couple of boards that say you can't do that, so it just depends on which one you are. There's probably a handful, like 2 or 3, that say you can't serve on this board if you're serving on that board, sort of thing. But
okay, awesome. Awesome. Well, viewers, neighbors, I want you to apply to be on our city's boards and commissions. We have over 60 of them. That's a lot, and there are a lot of vacancies. I know you send out a vacancy email report, but every month,
at the beginning of every month, I'll send out what are currently vacant seats that are open, and then also people who have terms expiring in the next 90 days, because sometimes those seats will roll off and they'll be available in 90 days. So that notification goes out every month.
If someone wants to sign up to get your email to get the vacancy list, how do they do that?
All they have to do is send an email to boards@lexingtonky.gov, and that link is on the website too. There's a little handy button. If you go to the website, you can just click and say, I want to sign up.
Awesome, awesome. So neighbors, you can get even email reminders about applying for boards and commissions, and they'll send you a vacancy list. So thank you, Melissa, for joining us today to answer those questions, because I want everyone to get engaged with local government, and a board and commission is a great way to do that. am here with Martin Rivers, a good friend who's become a good friend, and we're going to talk about the city's boards and commissions. Now, Martin, first tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
So I'm retired. I was an engineer, firmware software engineer at Lexmark. Retired in 2017. Did some volunteer work that was not government related, and then got introduced to the Senior Service Commission, and sort of hopped in at that point.
Wonderful. And that's where I met Martin, is serving on the Senior Services Commission. We served together. Now, what motivated you to just try to decide to be on a city board or commission?
Well, as you likely know, I send lots of emails to council people because I see problems, maybe, or offer an idea. Well, my council person is Councilmember Sheehan, District 5. And I'd seen something about really what turned out to be the Homestead Exemption Act, but I was thinking about things that could help seniors reduce their taxes, because most seniors, right, are on fixed incomes, so have to be very careful with their money. And so she gave me the answer to that, but she said, have you ever thought about being on the Senior Service Commission? And the answer was, no, I've never thought about being on any commission. So I poked around at it, I submitted an application. It was really quite easy. I was really nervous. I thought, well, is it an elected position? No, it's not really an elected position. And I also thought, well, it's going to be lots and lots of time, because, the commissions that I typically hear about are like the Planning Commission or Board of Adjustments. And I think those people put an enormous amount of time in.
They really do, yes.
And it's like, I do like being retired, but this commission does really important things. I've been honored to help out with the education sort of subcommittee. It seems like we are providing valuable information to the community, and it really was not like the Planning Commission with that sort of time stuff. So thank you to Councilmember Sheehan for introducing me to that, and that's where
So being on the Senior Services Commission, has that allowed you to pursue some interesting things you're passionate about through the commission's work?
The education component. So there are several subcommittees in the senior service. There's like one on transportation, there's one on housing, there's one on education. I'm sure I'm missing some. But I think it's important for seniors to understand what sort of services are out there for them to take advantage. And so we've kind of been working for the last year on this, we call it the Senior Minute, little quick interviews that we do with organizations, government organizations, community organizations. And I've learned a ton of stuff about what's available. And so hopefully those are providing good information to our seniors.
Awesome, awesome. Have you faced any difficulties or challenges being on this Senior Services Commission or boards and commissions, period?
So I said I was a retired engineer, so I'm kind of a techie kind of guy. I wish that there was more technology brought to bear from the commission's perspective. I sort of helped set up some Google Drives to keep minutes and all that sort of stuff, but I think there's still hesitancy in using that technology to track meetings. And then on the flip side, I really tried to push for paying more attention to technology that can help seniors, because everybody hears about aging in place. And I haven't quite got the traction on that in the commission. I'll keep trying.
Yes, please do. Well, we appreciate you pushing us in the right direction. What aspect of serving has been most rewarding for you?
Learning about local government. So it's not really. So I knew nothing about the boards and commissions before Councilmember Sheehan asked me to look into this. And as soon as I joined, it's like it struck me, I don't know anything at all about local government. I'd vote for council people, but I didn't pay attention to. So it was just a couple of weeks after I joined the Senior Service Commission that I started coming to a lot of council meetings. And it really became eye-opening that your local government really is what affects you the most. The news is all about the federal government, and you just get riled up. When I watch what happens at the local level, I don't get riled up. I see people like you and Councilmember Sheehan and Vice Mayor Wu and rattle the list off. that are passionate about what you want to do. You're trying to do good, and it's not just the council people; it's the bureaucrats, the staffers, whatever. That's what really it's pleasing to come to these meetings and to talk with these.
Good.
And I would have never done any of that if it had not been for the Senior Service Commission.
Wonderful. Now, I'm recording this hoping to invigorate some of my neighbors to want to join boards and commissions. So approximately how much time a month do you spend on the work you're doing with the Senior Services Commission?
So this commission meets once a month, hour and a half, typically Zoom. So you can stay in the comfort of your home and do it. We do meet in person a couple of times. And then this education team that I'm on, I've sort of helped organize the interviews, and so maybe 4 hours reaching out to people. And then we have, with the help of Lex TV, do the interviews, and that's another hour and a half. Well, so 6 hours a month at the most.
So not bad at all.
It's not. It's and you get to meet all sorts of interesting people.
So are there other city boards or commissions you're interested in joining?
I would be interested in thinking about the Planning Commission. You won't like to hear this, but I think the Planning Commission is more powerful than the council. And even though it is appointed and voted on by the council and the mayor, I don't view that they are really representative of the normal citizen. All you have to do is watch some of the meetings that happen. And I'm not a planner, but I like to research new topics, and I've looked at planning. So that's one, but in the hierarchy of things, the Planning Commission, Board of Adjustments, maybe the Ethics Commission.
So my last question would be, what would you like to see more of or done differently since you've been serving on the Senior Services Commission as far as boards and commissions?
Younger people. People like me. There are people on the Senior Service Commission, like two council members. You're one of them, and then there are people like from the health department. The bus has a member, but I don't view those as members they're not normal citizens. They're representing the government in some way. I want to see more people that have less gray hair on these commissions, so that maybe the Senior Service Commission wouldn't be the right commission for younger folks, but I can find a lot of arguments that's not true. But this is your government, this is your city, and we need your views. We need the younger views. So.
Great, excellent point. And thank you so much for joining me
Thank
today
you.
To talk about our city's boards and commissions. I'm so glad that you're serving. I hope you will continue to serve in more capacities on our city's boards and commissions. So I hope, neighbors, that you will get engaged as well. Please visit the city's website, lexingtonky.gov, and go in the search bar, type in boards and commissions, and it will send you to the list of boards and commissions so you can figure out what you want to, where you want to serve, because we need you to serve. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.